Turn it on. Okay, I would like to call to order the Santa Fe Public School Board of Education meeting of January 16, 2025 at approximately 5:31 p.m. We will start with our pledge allegiance and salute to the New Mexico flag, and then acknowledgement of tribal land. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Saludo la bandera del Estado de Nuevo México, el símbolo día de amistad perfecta entre culturas unidas. We acknowledge that our Board of Education meeting is taking place on occupied indigenous land. We acknowledge the Tesuque Pueblo lands and other tribal lands on which we stand. We honor these people, past, present, and future. We acknowledge the history and ongoing colonization of where we are sitting right now in New Mexico and in our country. We acknowledge our own place in the story of colonization. Okay, item D is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes, Mr. Superintendent, to the agenda?
Good evening, Board President Abeta, members of the board, those in the audience. No changes this evening.
Okay, anything from the board? Can I have a motion regarding the agenda?
I move approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 2 is introduction of interpreter.
Para asistencia de traducción en español, la señora Rivera te ayudará.
Thank you. The item 3 is our school showcase, and we will start with Sweeney Elementary.
Thank you, Board President Abeta, members of the board. Making introductions tonight of her team and our students, as I see them in the audience, is our principal at Sweeney Elementary, Miss Melissa Kovac. Please.
Good evening, President Abeta, members of the board, Superintendent Chavez, and district leaders. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm super excited to be here to share Sweeney Elementary and what makes us so special. My name's Melissa Kovac. This is my second year as principal at Sweeney Elementary, my 26th year with Santa Fe Public Schools. And who are we? We are a dual language 80-20 model school on the south side of Santa Fe. We have about 44 team members, including custodial and cafeteria staff. We have 6 visiting teachers from different parts of Mexico and Spain with experience between 1 and 30 years in education. I'm proud to say we only have 1 vacancy for a bilingual EA, so if you know anyone, send them my way. We have 11 bilingual classes. We serve 267 students. And I'm proud to say we have all specials offered to our students between PE, library, technology, music, and art. Last year, we put our focus on our theme, or this is our motto, to really drive our instruction, and it was See Sweeney Succeed. This is a picture of my team, and I know that we work hard every day to see Sweeney succeed. This has been put into our mindset, so everything we do every day in our classrooms is to ensure that we have happy, healthy students. In our time, we have really focused our instruction to standards-based grading, instruction, knowing our priority standards, posting our learning targets, really outlining our bilingual model so that our classrooms have instruction to the content equally across grade levels between K and 5th grade. We've really elevated our PLCs. Our teachers collaborate regularly. We know our data. This was a lot of the work that we started last year, and not only increasing our communication with our community, but also to celebrate and recognize all the good things happening within our school. And some of the accomplishments that I'm proud to mention is that we did move out of our CSI rating to a traditional school, so we were really proud of that this school year. And we have continued to improve our proficiency. This table shows that students who are performing 3 or more grade levels below grade level at the beginning of the year to the middle of the year. So in reading, we decreased that to 20%, and in math, we decreased it by 10%. And I just really have to recognize the great team that I work with. I have a lot of dedicated teachers who did not leave me at the end of last year, so that was super exciting. They all came back. And talk about dedication, they started 2 days before their contract date and did some unit planning with some of our team within the district. So Daniel Pastrana, Arturo Lujan, lots of staff in the curriculum and instruction team came and helped support the Sweeney teachers to do this unit planning, which really helped us outline our instruction and content to match our curriculum, match our priority standards, and give teachers a good plan for what to do in the classroom, in our bilingual classrooms and our monolingual English classrooms. A lot of the dedication to high engagement, grade-appropriate instruction, we've had super focused professional development, and so it's been really great to see the teachers, they're not just sitting and learning, but they get to watch someone model it, then they get to perform it in the classroom, and then hear from their peers and get feedback on what they're doing, and that's really helped our instruction and student learning. We have elevated our PLC work to really know our students. So we look at data, we plan for instruction, and thanks to Robin Noble, who has really been helpful in our PLC time to do that for us. And we have super happy students. Now, none of this really matters if we don't have students who come to school with their emotional and basic needs met first. So I'm happy to say that we make sure our students have those met before we can move forward. I'm super proud that our community partners help us with that. So Communities in Schools, National Dance Institute, Cooking with Kids, Santa Fe Chamber Music, Adelante, all of these community partners have really helped us give our students what they need and have opportunities that they wouldn't have if they're not in school with us. So I'm super thankful for all of them. We continue to move forward with all of this in our hearts and minds so that we can improve instruction for our students, and we're going to see Sweeney continue to exceed. Now, I can talk about all that, but I have some cute students here who would like to share what they love about Sweeney. Dr. Gonzalez? Highly qualified instructional material. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and I have Abby, Alex, and Jaya. Come on up. We might need a little step stool. Yeah. I think she'll be good.
Good evening, President Albeita, members of the Board, Superintendent Chavez. My name is Jaya Harris. I currently attend 5th grade at Sweeney Elementary School. I've been a student at Sweeney Elementary School since pre-K. I think Sweeney Elementary School is the best school because of my friends and teachers. I love learning and doing activities. And also, I love the opportunities like Cooking with Kids, NDI basketball, and after school. Thank you.
Okay, Alex.
Good evening, President Albeita, members of the Board, Superintendent Chavez. My name is Alexander Ramirez. I am a 2nd grade student at Sweeney. I like how the teachers care about the students, and at Sweeney we practice the attendance of a high five by caring about classmates. working with others, making a big problem smaller, and being in control of body and words, and knowing when to ask for help. Thank you. Good evening, President Albeita, members of the board, Superintendent Chavez. My name is Avi Varela. I currently attend 5th grade at Sweeney Elementary School. I've been a student of Sweeney since my pre-K year. I have enjoyed every year there. I have made many good friends over the years, and I have also met many wonderful teachers. What I like about school is doing fun activities like art and music and learning new things. One of my favorite classes is PE. I've been lucky to have good teachers at Sweeney. Thank you.
Good job, guys. All right. I love that we're able to have these opportunities and experiences for our students. We encourage our students to believe in themselves and to recognize that they have the ability to succeed and be leaders in our world. And in recognition of School Board Appreciation Month, we'd like to give you this card. To say thank you for leading SFPS with your hearts, and the staff and students and teachers of Sweeney would like to say thank you.
Thank you. Comments from the board?
President Abita.
Board Member Bozay.
I just wanted to say thank you. That was amazing. And, this is the start of my 5th year. I don't think we've ever gotten a card from students before. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Congratulations for all your hard work, and to your staff as well.
Dr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Abeta. I want to thank the students. That's very brave of you to get up and talk to all these adults in the room. It made me want to go to Sweeney.
Board Member Heffron.
Thank you. Wow. I want to congratulate the principal and the teachers and staff at Sweeney. I used to tutor there a few years ago, and I remember the difficulty of bringing kids up to speed who had been disadvantaged early on in pre-K. And I think you've done a remarkable job bringing them up to speed in both reading and math over this time, and congratulations to you. And thank you, students, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kovac. This was really impressive. Your students coming and speaking to us, that's not easy, and they did an amazing job, and thank you for all the hard work you and your staff have done for the parents and families at Sweeney. Good job.
All right, thank you, Principal Kovac, and congratulations on the movement of your data and school designation. A lot of great things happening there. It's wonderful to see beginning of the year to middle of the year data start to move in the direction that we're all hoping. So congratulations to you and your staff, students, and parents. Making our next introduction is our Fine Arts Coordinator, Christina Gonzalez, introducing us to Ortiz Middle School Art.
There we go. It's hard to follow that act. I mean, can't really outdo that. Board President Abeta, members of the board, Superintendent Chavez, allow me to introduce Cassandra Anaya, art teacher at Ortiz Middle School. Cassandra is an artist and educator who is also a graduate of Santa Fe Public Schools. Her tribal affiliation is Okeowenge Pueblo. She received her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art Education with a concentration in fibers from Colorado State University. Currently in her 4th year with SFPS, Cassandra's teaching is characterized by striving for excellence, inclusivity, and belonging. She inspires, excites, and empowers our students in her classroom studio. Cassandra, welcome.
Board President Abeyta, members of the board, and Superintendent Chavez, thank you for this opportunity to present. Sagistamu na than sawe pokuin ohmu na okeawenge omu. Hello, my name is Cassandra Anaya. Currently, I'm an art teacher at Ortiz Middle School. Today, I'm going to be presenting on our visual arts program, specifically our advanced arts program. This is the second year of our advanced art program. Last year, we piloted it with just our 7th graders. This year, we have expanded it to include both 7th and 8th grade. This is the second elective opportunity that students have to take advanced, the first being through band, through our music program. It's important to give students advanced opportunities at the middle school level. This goes beyond having a general class. It also expands students' skill sets, but also gives students deeper opportunities to work with various art concepts and range of materials. Students work with your traditional 2D and 3D models of materials such as colored pencils, markers, clay, collage, recycled materials, as well as digital media. But the focus on this is really about student interest. How can we drive student interest to further their art education? Through this, we look at how can we expand student interest to see what possible careers do students want to do, how can students connect art through other models such as through math and through science. This is one example of our STEAM-based projects where students were interested in creating a speaker, so we learned the functions of sound amplifiers, and students were able to create their own model through clay. Other examples of student interests include video production in the classroom. For this, we teamed up with our site's former DLC, Katrina Coker, to create a self-portrait video project. Now, having a self-portrait as a video really expands the idea of visibility to students. So for this, when we presented this to students, I wanted students to push the idea of who they are and what stories do they want to tell about themselves. And at middle school, it's very much a transitional time when they're learning who they are, they're learning who their identity is. So it's important that we were fostering a community of safety and inclusivity. That way students were comfortable to share those aspects about their identity. And what's interesting was through this process, when students were learning how to storyboard and to plan their videos, we found that they didn't want to focus on themselves, but rather focus on those that supported them. I'm going to be showing one of our examples, but we were able to present our students' findings at the National Indian Education Association conference that was hosted in Albuquerque in 2023, as well as at the New Mexico Public Education Department Literacy and Humanities summer convening this past June. For this example, I'm going to be showing Novus. Let's see if it works. Oh, there you go. I just want to give thanks, Kundo Oha. Thank you again to Board President Abeyta, members of the board, and Superintendent Chavez for this opportunity, as well as our district's Fine Arts Department, Christina Gonzalez, Ortiz Principal Bill Bilbo, who is here tonight, our Vice Principal Mel Morgan, and all of our Ortiz staff and their support for this. If you would like to come visit my classroom or have any questions, my email is also available. Thank you.
Thank you. Comments from the board? Board Member Heffron.
Congratulations. I find it hard to believe that this artwork that you have shown us was created by 7th and 8th graders?
Mm-hmm. As well as 6th graders.
Oh, and some 6th graders.
Yeah, going into the advanced program.
What an incredible job you've done helping them create this fabulous artwork. I'm looking for the book so I can buy the book of their paintings and drawings. That was fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I love adding an A to STEM so it ends up STEAM.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Gonzalez.
I totally agree with Member Lynn. Member Lynn. I was trying to think of your last name. Anyway, that was amazing, and the artwork was I couldn't believe it was middle school kids, so you've done an incredible job.
Thank you.
Board Member Bozay.
Thank you, President Abeyta. Ms. Anaya, thank you so much for sharing your classroom with us and for your vision and your passion. It's evident in the work of your students. And thank you for coming back to being part of Santa Fe Public Schools after graduating. It's so important, and wow, what a difference you're going to make in the next generation of artists. Thank you.
Your kind words are appreciated.
Thank you. Okay, public forum.
Thank you, Board President Abeyta. Taking us through public forum tonight is our Executive Director of Communication, Mr. Joe Abeyta.
All right. So we have one speaker tonight, so I'm going to go over the public forum ground rules. Public forum includes online and or virtual participation as needed, as well as in-person comments when the board holds in-person meetings. Please listen and speak with respect. No uncivil conduct will be permitted. Please do not discuss any specific student who is not your own. No sharing of time. Self-monitor and observe the 3-minute time limit. I will give you a 30-second warning when your time is almost up. Public commentary and dialogue are allowed only during the public forum, not throughout the meeting. Please search for answers on common ground. You may speak on any topic, whether it's on the agenda or not. Your input will be taken into consideration. Please be advised that the board may discuss your issue during the meeting, but by law, the board cannot take action on items that are not on the agenda. Please do not discuss employee matters which may result in disciplinary action. Instead, notify the employee's supervisor, the Human Resources Department, or the superintendent. And with that, our first speaker and only speaker is Jaron Spray.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Garen Spray. I teach history at Capitol High School. I invite each and every one of you to work as a substitute teacher in Santa Fe Public Schools for 1 month. Only then will you begin to understand the cancer that is cell phones. I use the word cancer because I can't think of a word that better characterizes how insidious and destructive these devices are. Let's begin with the most obvious problem. Cell phones distract students from their studies. They'd rather play video games or watch TikTok or text than do their schoolwork. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Students also use their cell phones to cheat on assignments and tests, to set up clandestine meetings with their friends outside of the classroom, to set up drug deals, to video student fights and then post those fights on the internet for the whole world to see forever, to bully and harass, to gamble, to watch pornography, and more. Basically, every problem our society has is brought into the classroom and amplified and intensified with cell phones. And nobody is willing to do anything about it. Kids certainly won't fix the problem. Parents won't deal with the problem. In fact, parents are a big part of the problem. School principals don't have the time or resources to deal with cell phones. And so far, this district has done nothing to deal with the problem, relegating teachers to the role of cell phone cops. Basically, teachers, cell phone cops, as we have now become, have 2 choices left in this situation. The first choice is for teachers to give up, which is what many teachers have done. We cannot compete with 30 cell phones in one room. How sad it is to walk by a classroom while a teacher is conducting a lesson and see students hunched over their phones with their earbuds in, ignoring everything that's going on in the classroom. The second choice for teachers, cell phone cops, is to have a no cell phone rule and to try to enforce it, which means teachers end up playing whack-a-mole all day long. Is this what you want your teachers doing, monitoring kids' cell phone usage? Really? The only real solution, the only one that possibly has a chance of making a difference, is to ban cell phones altogether. Other districts have done it, and Santa Fe Public Schools can and must. What are we afraid of? What possible downsides are so bad that instead this district is willing to look away, leaving students, teachers, and administrators to swim in a cellular cesspool all day, every day, all year long? Ban cell phones, Ban cell phones. Ban cell phones. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spray. Okay, we don't have any of our student board members here, but is there a union update? No. Okay, then that takes us to item number 7, board announcements and follow-ups. Anything from the board? No, okay. Superintendent.
I do. Let me just make a comment. Just wanted to make a comment before I go through my updates. And I was speaking to Mr. Spray that there's a pre-filed bill about directing PED to make a recommendation and to ban cell phones. Plus, there's also an allocation attached to it for $10 million. So as I mentioned to him, if he could support it, if others within the educational world can support it, that would help really drive what he's asking. So.
Thank you.
All right, my first update, just a real quick. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I just want to thank the board, our staff, and also our delegation for the great and productive legislative breakfast. I thought this was the best one yet. Did a great job of introducing, us to the board and giving them a welcome. So again, I thought it went very, very well. Number 2. Tomorrow afternoon at some point, we're probably going to put out some kind of notification to our community, to the public. There was a worldwide breach of PowerSchool, not a Santa Fe Public School breach. There was a worldwide breach of PowerSchool. So again, we'll probably be putting something out just as far as notification. We're trying to really draft a letter and edit it with communication as far as where parents and students and others can reach to ask questions. And again, this is a PowerSchool issue, so we're trying to get their contact information. Just want to make it very clear, this wasn't something that happened here solely. This is worldwide. Third one, Education Week, just so you guys are aware, reached out to us, and they're going to do an article on our implementation of AI. There's a possibility that they even fly out next week to take pictures. So I know Dr. Weaver and Deputy Superintendent Romero did do the interview. Great recognition, and I hope they do fly out to see the great things happening in our classroom, just like you heard from Sweeney Elementary. I'm providing an update for the board as Dr. Gonzalez and I have talked. The civil work for Mandela International Magnet School, as you remember, you guys approved a new school for them. Could start in late spring, but even during the summer months. So again, dirt work, civil work could start moving on that Mandela project. Then last but not least, just a reminder, January 20th, there is no school, there is no work. And the following day, January 21st, the legislative session starts, which I know will all be involved, especially 2 of our members. That does conclude my updates. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Moving on to our action items, we have a consent. Oh, wait, sorry, Board Member Heffron.
President Beta, I have a question on something I had been reading recently. School districts are piloting an AI tool to improve attendance, including 4 New Mexico school districts. We are not one of those 4, is that correct?
That is correct.
And are we intending to be one of the 5 or 6 coming down the road?
We've talked about that, and our attendance experts in the room tonight, but, Crystal does an amazing job of addressing attendance and chronic absenteeism. The one thing that we're waiting to see is how much manpower does it actually take from the district to operate in AI, because you still need the other end. You still need parents and students to engage with the AI bot, if you want to call it that. Okay. You can include AI in any initiative, but if you don't have the user participating, then that data is not going to be collected. So what that does, it really collects data to identify issues as far as why they're not attending. That's something our attendance coaches currently do under Crystal's purview. And it's something that I think we're addressing to reduce chronic absenteeism. I don't know if that AI tool reduces chronic absenteeism. I think, and again, it's early in the stages of implementation. I think it just collects data.
And from my knowledge also, it's being used in Farmington and other school districts that
Correct.
are much smaller than our
Correct.
own, for instance. So, but thank you, Crystal, also
Yep.
for your work. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Our next item on the agenda is, our consent. We have a budget adjustment request and contracts over 60,000. Do we need to pull those off of the consent agenda? Can I have a motion to approve the consent items?
President Abeyta, I move approval of the consent agenda.
And I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so that brings us to action item B, which is a resolution 2024-25-9, reaffirming resolutions 2016, 17, 14, Santa Fe Public Schools as sanctuary schools.
All right, thank you, Board President Abeyta. And really taking us through this exercise tonight is Board Member Bozay. She brought it to our attention about a month ago, if I remember correctly. She did work with legal counsel and also Crystal Ibarra. We did some final edits. So again, we did this 2017, 18, if I remember.
16, 17.
16, 17. And so this is just reaffirming and also bringing forward a current resolution as we go into the second part of the semester. So Board Member Bozay, if you wanted to provide a little introduction, and then we can take a look at the resolution and make any final edits.
Thank you very much, President Abeyta, Superintendent Chavez, members of the board. First, I would just like to extend gratitude to Crystal Ibarra and Josh Granada for their support on this updating. In updating this resolution, I really wanted to emphasize that our schools are places of learning. And our jobs, all of our jobs, are to educate the school-age students of Santa Fe. We focus a lot here on attendance because we know that kids can't learn if they're not in schools. And my concern with this upcoming presidential administration is that if immigrant families and children of immigrant families do not feel safe in our schools, they will stay home and they will miss out on their education. And so I wanted to update this so that we can all be recommitted to providing safety in our schools for all students, including those from immigrant families, so that they can receive the education that they deserve.
Thank you, Board Member Bozay.
Let's see, they're trying to get it up on the screen, but a couple of things. There is an uploaded resolution on our website in the board doc, so if anybody needed to go in and read that resolution, we won't do it tonight entirely, but to Board Member Bozay's point, we're just trying to reaffirm and bring it forward. We have a lot of mechanisms in place as it is. I know you guys have asked me about security. When we first brought this resolution forward, we were contracting out, right, our security services. We've brought them in-house. We are fully staffed. We're planning to expand potentially. So they have clear directions on who to let on campus, who not to let on campus. The one thing I want to just make very clear is that if there is a warrant that is going to be delivered, that is something we will not impede with. Everything else outside of a warrant has to go through our Executive Director of Security and also our legal counsel. So we've put that in place. We've updated our safety and security teams, our principals, and front office staff. We also do not collect any identification of our students to determine whether or not they are legal citizens. Okay, it's that simple. PED does not collect that information, and neither do we. So if somebody was to come forward and ask whether or not they are a citizen of the U.S. or elsewhere, we don't have that information to give. So again, their information is protected. Their information is not gathered by any school district or any department. So what we try to do is really ensure the safety of all students and staff. And I just saw Mr. Salvidras walk in. I did ask him the last time this resolution was read, And over the next 4 years, did we see any type of entrance to our schools? And his response was not one. There was one incident that happened, and it was outside of our schools, outside of our fences, our boundaries, happened on a public road. That public road happened to be in front of one of our schools, but nothing ever took place on one of our schools the last time President Trump was in office. So just wanting you guys to have a little bit of background that nothing happened at that time, and we've followed and updated our procedures currently.
Thank you so much, Superintendent. And just to that point, part of what we added here in the update are lines 68 to 73 that really gives a definition of protected areas, being areas that include Santa Fe Public Schools, official activities of its schools, including those occurring in public places and adjacent areas, and all of Santa Fe Public Schools property, including but not limited to facilities owned, controlled by, or leased by the Santa Fe Public Schools. So we wanted to be really explicit about the protected areas in our district and the areas of safe haven for all of our students. I do have a couple edits from the document that was uploaded to add in before we make any votes, if I could go ahead with those. Line 23, this was just a typo. Child and public, we had capital letters and changed those to lowercase. I see on line 37 where it says resolution 2016 / it should be 2017 instead of /2027. And then the part that I just read on line 71 and 72, we changed a little bit of wording to clarify that as such, Santa Fe Public Schools refuses access to schools and other Santa Fe Public School property and protected areas to federal immigration officials for the purposes of immigration enforcement, except upon issuance and receipt of a warrant, as the superintendent stated. And then line 78, the uploaded document said provide counseling services, and we edited that to continue to provide, because we do already do that, and we don't need to start anything. We just need to continue the supports that are already in place for our families.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, because this is a resolution that's reaffirming existing resolutions, can we adopt it this evening?
Sure can.
Okay, so do we want to make a motion?
I move that we adopt this reaffirming Santa Fe Public Schools as safe havens.
And I strongly second.
Okay, we have a motion, and we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with our mics, maybe it's just okay, so we are on to board discussion and possible action. Board organization, I had received an email from Vice President Noble, and she'd like me to read it to the board. Esteemed board colleagues, as ever, thank you for your service and all you do for the Santa Fe Public Schools. As we elect board officers for 2025, I am sorry to not be present and wanted to share the following thoughts. My suggestion would be to keep the current officers for 2025 as it has been an abbreviated term and the time has flown by. I would suggest that keeping President Abeyta is wise given the learning curve for a board president, and that in my view, he has been doing a wonderful job in the role. Also, I would be honored to continue to serve as vice president and hope that Dr. Gonzalez would be willing to continue as board secretary. Thank you for your consideration and best wishes to us all for the year ahead. Okay, so what are the wishes of the board regarding our organization for 2025? Board Member Heffron.
President Abeyta, I would firmly agree with Vice President Noble on what she has suggested. As a new board member, as you well know, the three of you sitting here next to me, plus Kate, have been instrumental in teaching me, helping me learn the ins and outs of being a member of a board, and I would love for you to stay on as in all your current roles. Thank you.
If that's a motion, I'll second that.
Okay, then.
Or third it, however we are doing it.
Okay, so the motion will include President would be Abeta, Vice President Noble, and Secretary Gonzalez.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that concludes our board organization. Any other board discussion or possible action this evening?
I failed to mention something, if you don't mind.
Sure,
Board
Superintendent
President
Chavez.
Abeta. I want to make an introduction, and I forgot, and I just saw her over there, and I apologize to her. Beverly Aguilar is our interim CFO. I asked her to join us tonight so I could introduce her, and you could see who she is. She's done a wonderful job. She's been with the district. She's been with Public Education Department. She's actually a double dipper. Lucky her. And so we're continuing, just so you guys know, to recruit, interview, and try to find a permanent CFO. But Beverly, in her previous position, was the deputy CFO. And, there's no lost time. She's hit the ground running. We're continuing to move forward. We're very fortunate to be in a very, very positive financial position. So it makes my job, her job, your job a lot easier when we're not projecting a multi-million-dollar deficit. Thank you, Bev.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, advanced planning, we have a CRC meeting on the 22nd. Is that correct, Board Member Bozay? And is it going to be hybrid or is it going to be in person?
I haven't heard, but I believe it will be hybrid.
Because I know we have
want to
better
increase
attendance.
Attendance when it's hybrid,
I
yeah.
think the last time, everybody showed.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, okay.
Doing that facility master planning is so important. We need to make sure everyone can be there.
Okay, great. And then, so is there going to be one on the 29th also, or we don't think so?
I think so.
Okay. We will have a need for a meeting on the 30th. We will have an executive session that is scheduled, and then if there are any other board items, Superintendent, for the 30th, that would be
Perfect.
That would be great. So
Yep.
we will have a board meeting on the 30th. It says 4:30. Does that time work for all of the members, or okay, so 4:30 on the 30th? Great. Okay, anything else before we adjourn? No? Then we are adjourned. Thank you.